Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another live stream, and hello everyone on Facebook and YouTube. We're back, middle of the month already. 2 weeks, 2 weeks down to January. Lots going on, I think, isn't there, in the world at the moment? Lots of new stuff, and hopefully we'll be able to sort of put people's mind at ease with regards to the housing market. 'Cause I think there's definitely a little bit of uncertainty around what is happening and what people can and can't do. So let's get cracking, guys. So how are you both? Just start, Howard. How are you, mate? How's things in Preston?
Me personally, I'm blooming freezing. I'm on location, as you guys know, and everyone else. I'm on location at the moment, and a property that's coming on the market. So there's no central heating on. It's freezing cold outside, and it's getting dark. But me personally, yeah, I'm doing all right. It's I've been really busy, and I've been busy with dealing with a lot of leads, people. Well, the uptake, guys, people wanting to view properties. Matt, you're going to tell me the same. It's gone through the roof, honestly. People just want a property I've had on the market for a bit. I've just sold it. I've had 2 inquiries today to go and view it. So, yeah, it's been really busy. Just out now putting the property on the market, and I think you're going to probably allude to, Kevin, some of your figures that tail end of last year, the start of this year, there's been less houses coming on the market, but the uptake in viewers has gone phenomenal, physically and of course virtually as well. And I know, Matt, you've been you were saying to me before, you've got loads of viewings, you've had quite a few valuations, people maybe just trying to find out what's happening in the market, but again, it is busy. Hey, Matt.
Well, yeah, I mean, I literally just got in just before this meeting just to basically tell her, get on here, but I've been out all day and I have been all week. It's been bonkers. It's been great. There is some valuations there. I know for a fact they're nowhere near as much as what we previously had, going back to last year, which is a shame. But obviously, I know, like we've talked in the last ones, I think it's due to what's going on at the moment. However, what we've been out to, we seem to have listed. So keep your eyes out. We do have some new properties coming to the market. We'd like a lot more because what we're getting on is selling. But pretty much like yourself, Howard, bags and bags of viewings, and everybody's wanting to snap up these properties before anybody else does.
Yeah, and we were talking, myself and Kev were talking the other day about stamp duty. I'm still getting asked loads of questions about, if I buy now, am I going to get in, before the end of March? Am I going to beat that stamp duty, deadline? And the honest answer is, I don't know. I guess probably not at the moment, but what happens to that, we don't know, whether it be extended or they bring into some kind of graded system, how they do the stamp duty. But I think that'll be a question I think we'll have to listen to, advise and take on board, from now right the way towards the end of March. I think that will raise its head, about what's going to happen with stamp duty, am I paying the right money and so forth, And, yeah. So I've had a few of those queries instead, and I thought, I mention this as a point because people out there might be watching this and it might cross their mind as well, and for all the goodwill in the world, I don't think any estate agent or solicitor could honestly sit here and look at you and say, you'll definitely be in for the end of March. So have you had any of those kind of queries up at your end?
Well, not yes and no, if that makes sense. But I'll be honest, I've been reading stuff online and the estate agent today and stuff, and looking at figures. And yeah. I think once the stamp duty thing finishes in March, I still think we'll just be as busy, in all honesty, because I think I've both agreed that at the start of the end of the first lockdown, we went absolutely manic, and that was before the stamp duty. And I think, it's great to have saved that money. Honestly, it is. And there's a thought. I was like I said in one of the videos, it was a ridiculous amount that was saved. But if you're going to buy a house and you've got enough people wanting it, you're going to pay the price for it anyway, aren't you? And I think for me, I think the housing market will keep moving. And yes, it's been a bit of a bonus. Has that spurred people on to go and buy bigger houses? I would say yes, a few, because I've gone out and valued some, and people are saying, look, I'm taking advantage now because we want to upsize, and they're buying something that's just under 500,000. But that was only a few people, in all honesty, because let's face it, in our local area, as probably the same with you, Howard, how many houses have you got that are kind of right up to that 500 grand mark?
Yeah. I know you mean. I think the main difference has been that I've seen the stamp duty. I wouldn't necessarily say houses have gone through the roof because of it. Because I agree with you. When that first lockdown kind of reopened, even though we were doing stuff behind the scenes and talking to people by means of the modern technologies, when it opened up again, it went crazy. And I don't think that stamp duty just kind of massively impacted the sales. I think what it has impacted is maybe people might think, well, I'll offer 2 or 3 grand more. So I don't actually think they're saving money in reality, But that's the thing. The main point I'm saying today is, it's a great time to have your house on the market because there's not a great deal of competition out there. So if your house is on the market, you're likely to get more views because we've just said there's been an uptake, and so you can have more viewers looking at it. And who's to say that you don't get a better price, less competition? I think that's a great positive. And we were talking some figures, Kevin. I know you're going to mention some figures of how we compare this January so far to the whole of January last year. And I'm looking forward to interesting to hear what the instructions differ from this time. I think Preston, we had 24, last week for the first start of January. And I've looked myself, and I think a lot of the ones that when you go on Rightmove and you select what's come on the last 17 days, 14 days, and comes up as new, if you look closely, as I did the other day, quite a high number of those ones are actually ones that have been price reductions. So those people listening, people out there has reduced the price and it's gone into a different category and it's shot it up to appear kind of as a new instruction. But I'll be interested to see them, Kevin, to know what they do on that.
There's a few things, important things mentioned by you guys there. I'll start with price reductions because you finished on that. Just to let everyone know, if you are on the market and you want to reduce your price, Howard's on about people getting a notification that your house has been reduced. Little tip for anybody: you have to reduce by at least 3% of your asking price to get that notification sent out. So make sure when you're doing a reduction, you're speaking to your agent that you are knocking that at least that amount off your price. Otherwise, it's just going to sit there on Rightmove, and no one's going to find out about it. Basically. Second thing is stamp duty. I think we've been on about it for quite a while to say, it's been quite you're quite late in the game now, unfortunately, if you want to try and make that stamp duty holiday. Realistically, a sale takes 3 months normally. You're probably talking 4.5 months at the moment because of the volumes that we've again seen last year. But it's what is it? What is that value to somebody? In our area, the average price is £175,000-180,000 house. It's not a massive saving. It's about £1,000 in stamp duty. That people have saved, and I think you're right as well. It's gone into asking offer prices, hasn't it? So I don't think it's really been saved. I think people just offered more. It is probably what's happened, isn't it? I
agree with you there, Kev.
Yeah, will it really fall off a cliff because stamp duty isn't extended?
No,
probably not. No, you might just find that people's offers are adjusted accordingly again because they're having to pay stamp duty. That's what I would think would be.
It's a small percentage though in the scheme of things. What you're saying there, like you said, it's a small percentage. Like you said there, it's only 25% over. 25%, only 2% should say over £125,000. It's like you say in that respect. There, it's £1,000, £1,200.
Yeah.
It's not a great deal. So I'm totally agreeing with everything that you guys are saying on that. Sure.
And you're also right. There's an opportunity if you've got a house that you want to sell at the moment to try and make do well out of the demand that's there, because you're right, there isn't as much coming onto it. Well, I'll touch on that in a little while, but the demand is huge, and a lot of that demand now is virtual. Although Matt said that we've had a busy week of physical appointments. The virtual stuff that goes on as well behind that is unbelievable. It's huge compared to what it was this time last year, and that's because people are rightly cautious of what's going on. I think there's a lot of news going on in the world around COVID and rates going up and hospital admissions going up and all these sort of things, and people might not necessarily want strangers going around the house essentially. So the virtual valuations that we offer, the virtual viewings that are on offer, I think people are really using those as a good way to view houses, keeping everyone safe while doing it.
On that, Kev, as well, I can honestly say, and I touched on something early on today that I did a bit of a video for that I know Kevin's had. do people necessarily need to step over the threshold of a house to make an offer? We've proved the fact, not just over this last so many months with COVID, but prior to that we've sold houses. Well, we've had offers accepted, shall we say, offers put forward, offers accepted by means of virtual tours, whether it's the 360 or the video walkthrough that we do as well. So it is ensuring, that people are safe, the vendors are safe, they're safe, whether it's 24/7. But we are getting offers out of it. Ultimately, people do still want to come and have a look at it. But seriously, it's the way forward. Look at rentals as well, Kev.
Yeah.
We've touched on that as well. On a rental property, it's not as much a commitment to say, I'll pay £550 a month from looking at a video. I think you more or less get the gist of it.
Yeah.
It's a great tool. It enables us all to communicate to sellers, to buyers. Now, look at this is what we're doing now. It's a great way. We're lucky to have the technologies we have in times that we're going through.
Yeah, and we'll showcase the 360 viewings shortly. And after we've done here, we're going to jump on and Matt's going to take us through a couple of properties that he's got coming on the market today. On Lister Grove in Heasham and Swallow Close in Bolton Sands, Matt, if I remember rightly.
That's correct. Yep.
As two, so we'll head off here probably the next 5-10 minutes, and then 10 minutes after that or so we'll jump back on and take you around some properties, and they're just amazing, and more people should be using them in terms of people do on the market. If you've not got them, get them on your property, because people can view them whenever they want. And that may be very poignant as well, because there's obviously a lot of chatter about tighter restrictions, which may mean that the housing market is say not shut down, because virtual can happen, but restricted again, so physical viewings might not be able to happen. So if you've not got a virtual option on your house, there'd be very slim chance of being able to sell it. So make sure you're speaking to people about your.
We'll soon see. I think Mr. Johnson's on at 5 o'clock today.
He is.
His press conference. So we'll soon see what happens there, chaps.
He is. Well, do you want to know what the figures are? Do you want to know what the stats are so far?
Let's go for it.
Just speaking about demand. So we'll start with you today, Howard, because you've leaned forward. Look at you in anticipation.
I'm leaning forward. Yeah, waiting in anticipation to hear these figures. I'm actually very interested.
So last January, new properties that came to the market, there's 243. Okay. You were right. 24. It was last year.
Well,
last week.
Last week. Yeah.
So how many do you think it's on?
I'm going for just under the 50 figure, 47. Complete guess.
It's got a 7 in it, but it's 67. So.
Oh right. Well, that's.
So it's almost
a vast improvement then.
It's almost at 30%, and we're just under halfway through the month. So.
Just still behind a touch.
Still behind a touch there.
Yeah.
What about sales? Sales 182 January 2020. How many so far in January 2021?
Do you know, I reckon we're probably 50% of that figure now.
Not quite. 76. So actually there's more sold, and this is about supply and demand.
Front then.
Back to front then.
And what's that? No.
I can't really remember months where that's happened, and that might happen and continue to happen as we go through the start of this year. So still low, certainly on instructions, almost where we should be in the month for sales. So let's move on to Lancaster and Morecambe, LA, Matt. So 257
Go on.
instructions. That was the number of instructions in 2020. How many so far in
70?
No, a bit more, 81.
Right, okay.
So again, just under a third, almost halfway through the month, so
down.
That's going to be well down as well. Sales 159 in January 2020. How many so far 2021?
I think 90?
Not quite. 74. So again, close to 1 for 1. That's just under 50% year on year, so chances are that is going to be
the
same as last January. It is good in tough times. It's just the properties coming to the market, and that again highlights the
demand's there.
Supply and demand.
Yeah. Well, just to give you, that last week when we did a virtual tour, 360, so I talked you through the one in Fulwood. That came on the market later on last Friday, so a week today, but came on about 7 o'clock last Friday. That's subsequently under offer. So that just shows how quick it is, and we had a massive hit, massive impact on that property. With the game alerts, people are viewing it, enabled me to interact with it. So just what you're saying, Kevin, if you've got your house on the market and you're not having any physical viewings or these virtual viewings, I think you need to maybe look at, have you got a virtual tour? And if not, like Kevin said, investigate that, talk to your estate agent, visit our pages. If you want any help, message one of us three.
Yeah.
We'll help you. Yeah.
Well, they're not on the market yet. They're actually going on the market today. That such is the demand for those types of properties. So
we've actually had an offer on one of those properties as well.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
just shows how mad it is.
Just crazy. So we'll show people around it, and if anyone is interested.
Well, I was just going to say, if there's people out there watching this, even if they're not interested in buying a property in
probing recently, for example, doing viewings, obviously you have to have your house in the market. You need to be in a position to proceed. Sorry, if you are another person, make sure that you've got a blooming video tour at least. I'm meeting so many people who haven't even got a video tour. Infuriating me that agents, aren't using their blooming brain and going, well, if we get shut down, how are we going to generate interest in this house?
Yeah.
There you go.
There's a few estate agents near me now.
Howard, stop. I'm joking.
Oh, I thought you were saying something. I was going to say, there's a couple of estate agents near where I am. Kevin and I were talking earlier today. I'm going to say jumped on the bandwagon. That's daft in that, really. I think what they've done is they've kind of followed suit with what we've been doing since last year. But the fact is, I think it's good that sometimes estate agents have got too many properties on the market to spend time dealing with those particular people, and I think they're the people who miss out. So if you've not got anything on there, I would suggest contact your estate agent, not necessarily demanding you have one, but ask them to have a market review. Is there anything they can do? Are they able to help you in this?
It is good that the other agents are getting involved in it, because it is so important. With everything that's going on, with making sure people are safe, with not allowing floods of people through doors. It is very bad to that, didn't you?
I do, yeah, guys. Anybody watching this, it is about to finish. If you go on Lancastrian's page and you scroll down, I've done some charity work recently for the Heart Foundation. So if you go down and follow there, you'll see a shared post from myself, or you can just type in my name. Obviously, it's Matthew Kitchen. And you will see I've got numerous signed shirts that are all just on Facebook. The bidding finishes at 6 p.m. today. The reason why you might have heard some stuff going in the background is because my phone is now going a bit crazy as people are starting to really bid on these shirts. So if you know somebody who is a football fan, a rugby fan, check out the shirt. I don't wanted them anyway. You can't give them away at the moment. But there is an Everton shirt there. Yeah, we don't want to talk about that. We don't. To be honest, there you go.
What's the money going towards, Matthew? What are you raising the money for?
So the money's going all to the Heart Foundation in memory of my dad. So make sure to give. Obviously, it's a great charity, and in my opinion, in this day and age of modern technology and the way things have come on, nobody should suffer heartbreak or anything like that as the Heart Foundation goes. And that's why you'll always see me wearing one of these red bands. And every day this doesn't come off. Even if you just go on the Heart Foundation, guys, and buy a band, it's £1. Well, all of it goes towards a good.
The post that you're on about, I've just pinned it to the top of our Facebook page. So
there you go, guys.
If anyone who is interested in placing a bid and picking up one of the shirts and helping a great, charity, then you'll find the post there. All right. So.
Good luck.
Cheers.
Well done, Matt.
Cheers, everyone. Yeah, it's good.
Cheers,
done,
folks.
Matt. Cheers for everyone for joining us. So Matt will be back in about 10 minutes. We're just going to get set up for the virtual viewings. We'll show you around Lister Grove in Heysham, Swallow Close in Bolton Sands, and join us again shortly. But for anyone who doesn't, we'll see you again next week. We're back at next Friday at 4 o'clock.